Allegedly, we are live. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Get a little ornament here. Get the chat up. Not that YouTube wants to cooperate. Okay. Good. Be pretty good. All right. Last weekend I was not here. The weekend before that I cased in some books and then forgot about them basically until today when I was getting set up. You'll get to see me take out some books. I see somebody has joined us. Awesome. Hello. Welcome. I got the chat up on my tablet over here. So if you drop comments or questions in there, I will see them. So I use waxed paper when I case in the book and stick it in the press to keep moisture from the glue that I use to put the cover on it, keep it from getting into the pages. And I always save it so I can reuse the same set of waxed paper for multiple books. Eventually it gets like gross and folded and old, and then I toss it. But in the meantime, the brass rods help make a nice little gutter where the spine meets the rest of the cover. So let's see if the camera will cooperate. Where it opens, it's a nice clean fold. There's no wrinkling. I've seen what happens when people don't use brass rods or skewers or knitting. Like I've seen people use knitting needles, everything. It'll leave, like it won't have this nice crisp look. It will have weird wrinkles. So. I can reuse the tape as well. I'm always trying to be sure I lift the tape on the back side of the book first, because sometimes my fingernails will leave little marks, which bothers me. But if it's on the back of the book, it's less obvious. Okay. Now I have a bunch more books to case in today. Plus, person wanted a custom book at the Tarot Symposium back at the beginning of August, and I didn't have a blank in the color she wanted, so she ordered one to be made, and I gotta get that wrapped up. That's what this is. Go. Okay. Let's see, they've all got different end papers, I think. Yeah, they're all different. Okay. So the next step for those is twofold. I have to stamp my URL in the back, like inside the back cover, and I have a spreadsheet where I enter all the books that I make. And then I try to remember to update it when I sell them so that I have like a record, you know? Okay, so I got those guys all taken care of. Let's do this guy next. These out of the way. Okay. So this is the cover. This is going to sit in the cover, and what it's going to be purple book cloth, right? Purple. Yes. Okay. Now I like to make the headbands and the ribbon coordinate nicely. This is actually an opportunity. I have this long set piece of headband material that I almost never use, because how often do I work with brown? Not very often. So awesome. Can use some here. And yeah, most people don't even notice headbands, but I like having them match. And this is an unusual headband material because it is different. It has a front and a back. Most of the ones I use are the same on both sides. So like it doesn't matter which way it's facing when you attach it to the book. But for this one, it does matter. It's kind of cool. I love that, you know, headbands get made in different ways by different people, like different companies. So it isn't always all the same. And in the process of ordering some more, since I'm starting to get low and or run out of the ones I use the most. Headbands, check, ribbon. I buy ribbon on these great big spools. And I have a bunch of different colors, which is always fun. Let's see. Ooh. So the text on the card is green. Ooh, purple go together interestingly. Let's see, do I have a convenient sized piece of this book cloth? Maybe somewhere. Oh, here we go. kind of a medium olive green almost. Does this look? Does that look darker? I think I will go with the medium green. I think this is my first use of this green. And I can tell because I always cut the ribbon at an angle. This helps to prevent fraying. But the end, this ribbon has a flat cut. Yeah. And I can see there's a little bit of tape residue as well. Cool. Okay. We're gonna need you in a minute. Awesome. Okay. There we go. There we go. Get this guy out of the way. Go. So now, casing it in. Okay. Here. So I use a mix of PVA, which is sort of like school glue, like white school glue. And then I mix in a paste called methyl cellulose. And I have to stir it before I can use it because it separates out. Go. Okay. Get these guys out of harm's way. All right. This guy's ready. Almost. Do a quick check before I start putting glue on anything. Checking to make sure that each of these have a spine straightener already prepped and that I've drawn my little map lines. Okay. And they're ready to go. Got this, got this, got these guys. All right, do this thing. There we go. I always check to make sure everything fits before I start attaching the cover to the book. You can go waxed paper sheets. All right. And into the press. All right. Here we go. Good to go. Gotta get my brass rods in here. Now that I've got two books next to each other, board in. Boom. What's going on back here? Here we go. Onward. So it looks like somebody new has joined us. Howdy. Welcome. I'm assembling some books. And I've got the chat open on a tablet over here. So if you drop comments or questions in there, I should see them. This is looking very crooked. What is happening? Are we even close? Okay. Okay. Oh, hey there. May the paste behave and the page material curl never be too troublesome. Thank you. Yeah, may the leather cloth never stretch too much while folding politely. That is very nicely put. Thank you. So far, so good, but anytime I'm working on books, I always know any of them could just start to get real annoying. Yeah. Well, thank you for swinging by and saying hello. I take it you're not doing much bookbinding currently. That can be a bummer. Yeah, I know it's only the end of August, but I'm looking ahead towards December. And I want to make sure I have lots of variety in stock. So people can find a good gift, you know? Grabbed multiple pages instead of just one. That's fine. I have a whole little stack of this size that I'm working on. This is number 3 out of 6 total. We'll see if I can get through all of them today. Yeah, I really like using this lightweight marbled paper for my end papers, but I have to be careful not to put too much glue on it because it bruises very easily. Position. Go. Yeah, it's frustrating to put love into what people hardly glance at. Very, very true. Yeah, I like vending. I don't do it a whole lot lately because the way the economy is right now, people are not buying luxury items. But we've got Christmas coming up, and folks do sometimes splurge on gifts, you know. But yeah, I have a few books where they came out nice. I think they look fine, and nobody is buying them to buy other books for me. I'm always a little like, oh, this poor guy still doesn't have a home. What's happening? Try that again. There we go. Yeah, people balk at the fair price is very accurate. Yeah, this one's got a really nice, I really like this book cloth. It's purple. And it goes perfectly with those purple and blue end papers. Yeah, a project I've been working on occasionally, I need to actually get organized and finish it, is to get 1 or 2 like really fancy books done, with like leather and, leather corners, as well as the leather spine, etc. Make it look real fancy and nice, and then price it fairly, and it will make all of my, medium-sized standard books look less expensive. This is my theory. Like, I haven't worked with leather a whole lot, so I get, I procrastinate. I get nervous about it. I've been doing book cloth covers for, like 16 years now. I took my first bookbinding class in 2010. Crazy. And yeah, I've made like 3 leather books so far. And they all came out nice, but still a little stressful. Decorative stitching. I've seen some people, mostly in the bookbinding subreddit, do embroidered book covers. They look amazing. Oh my gosh, yes, the occasional blood sacrifice. Yeah, you can't really see it because of the way the camera's set up, but I have an old-fashioned like cast iron guillotine over here, and I slid a book in, and pulled my hand out, and bent my knuckle a little bit, and just like skin just, that was not a good time. Bled everywhere. I didn't get anything, like I didn't bleed on the book, which is like the important part, right? Yeah, durability is always a big consideration for me too. Like, I have friends who use my books like for journals and stuff, and they talk about their books lasting really well, which is always satisfying. Man, some machine-made books, you like look at them cross-eyed, and they, everything's peeling apart. Yeah, I did once inlay a piece of embroidery into the front cover of a book. Like the person came to me with the embroidery and was like, I want this like in the cover. I do that with like tarot cards and stuff pretty frequently. And she's like, I want like a tarot card, but I want this embroidery. And that was wild. Like working with that, I was able to get it to come out pretty well. I backed it with Japanese paper before I tried attaching it to the book, and that seemed to take care of it. But I was stressed. Sometimes I'm very confident that everything is lined up, and then other times I pull out this guy. Okay. Scissors. Oh, yes. Ugh. I did that once. I heard the little piece of my skin go pap onto the paper I was cutting. Oh, that one bled forever too. Oh my gosh. I mean, it healed up fine, but yeah. And I did it while I was live streaming. My dad was watching. I'm like, no, I'll be right back, you guys. I need to go get a paper towel. Managed not to bleed on the paper, so no real harm done. Oh, man. Yeah, working with real sharp blades is handy because it makes things heal better. But man, things can go from everything is fine to, oh, I have blood all over the place so quickly. So far, my reaction times have been pretty good, and I haven't bled on any materials, but I know it's always possible. Bone carving and power tools. Oh, man. Yeah, power tools are another place where it can go from fine to, oh, no, very quickly. Paper towels, man. The best. Yeah, I like this book cloth. It's still pretty new to me. I'm trying to remember where I got it. Either Talus or Hollanders. I get most of my book cloth from them. But it's got this real nice like metallic red thing going on that I really like. It's gonna look cool. Get that out of the way. I always check that things actually fit. I have occasionally caught a book where I didn't trim it correctly, and I was glad that I checked before I started attaching things. Let's see. Vampire's Journal. I'm not sure. What do you mean? Say more about that. Yeah, I've made book cloth myself a couple times, and it's turned out pretty well. Oop. Mess here. There we go. Yeah, it's let me make book cloth out of some interesting fabrics, but mostly I just buy it. The mess of making book cloth. I usually use the wheat paste and Japanese paper for backing material setup, which, I mean, works great. Book cloth comes out very nicely, but it's messy and takes up a ton of space. Yeah, keeping the book box square is just, it can be tricky. And my beloved old guillotine is not square anymore. At some point, it pretty clearly fell. Like the wheel you turn to tighten it down is kind of crooked. So like I have to mark very carefully where the cut goes and make sure that the mark is square. And like then I can use the guillotine on it. But yeah. Ugh. Oh yeah, nori. I love nori. It's pretty much all I use on the spine, which would give the bookbinding subreddit apoplexy. There are some people on there that are like militant that you cannot use wheat paste on a spine. You can't do it. And I'm like, that's what I was taught. That's how I've always done it. It works fine. What are you talking about? But I mean, it's Reddit, right? So there's going to be some very intense weirdos on there. Yeah, good leather can be hard to find. Yeah, like there's a couple places that sell leather specifically for bookbinding, and it is not cheap. Another reason I haven't done a whole lot of it. Yeah, right. Like it's historical. Wheat paste has been in use for a very long time. I mean, if I were going to be like very historically accurate, I would probably be using hide glue. That got used on spines a lot. But oh, that stuff's nasty. It smells so bad. Not my idea of a good time. Oop, we're not adhering properly. Let's try that again. There we go. Awesome. Tooling. Yeah, I haven't done any real tooling. I've done a little bit of blind tooling on the leather stuff I have done, but only a little. And yeah, always blind tooling. I haven't done anything with gold. I would like to, but I do not have the training or the equipment or anything yet. My big pipe dream someday, I want to go do a diploma at the American Academy of Bookbinding, and there you learn how to do gold tooling thoroughly. It's like awesome. But gotta save up a bunch of money if I'm going to do that. Not quite there yet. There we are. Protective waxed paper. There we go. Hand it to my press. This one's got a hole. Go. Cry cut or cricket. I guess they say cricket. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people do that, especially for fan binding. It can look really nice, but it just sits on top of the fabric. Like normal tooling, there's that slight indentation that protects from wear. And I'm like, these cricket covers, I really want to see what they look like in like 5 years. Like somebody come back and share your book again. How much has it been used? How is the cricket foiling holding up? Like I've got I have a silhouette cutter that I've done a little experimenting with, but nothing for foil. I got it because I want to do, I really like setting art into the cover a little bit. So there's like a raised bevel around it to protect it. And I would like to experiment with, cutting different shapes. And like doing that manually is asking a lot. So I got a silhouette, but I haven't experimented with it much yet. Yes, plastics don't last. True facts. And one of the reasons I really like, fabric and leather books. They're much less likely to get super brittle and crack in, 5 or 10 years. Go. Yeah, getting the raised bevel thing is, yeah, like I've done it quite a bit with like tarot cards or rectangular art. Last year, maybe the year before, I started experimenting with sliced semi-precious stones and setting those into the book cover, which has proven challenging, but it does work. I usually take a fairly heavy book board and like cut the shape out of it and then put a piece of cardstock just on the back to give it like a, so I've got the raised of the book cloth or the raised of the book board and then an inset with a backing. That has worked okay. Nope, this is not quite spaced correctly. Come on. There we go. Okay. Glossing powder and adhesive. I haven't used that. Inset into stamps. Oh, nice. Flat cabochon cover. Yeah. Yeah, I've used one of those 2-part epoxies. You like stir them up. And I've used that as adhesive for stones, and that's been working pretty well so far. But I haven't used one of those books myself. But so far I haven't gotten any complaints. So hopefully they're holding up fine. Yeah, like you want it to really adhere securely and safely stay put. Rough offers face. Yeah. Yeah, like it took me a while to track down stones that were like thinly sliced enough that they wouldn't stick out super, super far, and that looked nice, and that didn't cost a fortune. that took some doing. I did find some. And, people seem to be impressed. They sell slowly because I have to mark them up a bit compared to my regular books of the same size. Because like, even not costing a fortune, like semi-precious stones are not free. Here we go. All right. Yeah, this is a fun book cloth. It's got like that light blue and then metallic gold going on, which I really like. It's very flashy. Yes. Yeah, like the books become unusable when they're more like a sculptural artifact that you display rather than a book that you can use. Like, I want to make books that people can use. I do hear from a lot of people that they're like, oh, I have a big stack of journals at home. I can't bring myself to use any of them. I'm like, oh, come on. That's what they're for. You gotta use them. Thank you. Yeah. It's amazing what some people will put together, though. Like, I don't have the sculptural know-how or ability to make covers like that. I wonder. I don't know. I see them occasionally, but usually it's just like, oh, look at this finished product, and I'm like, well, but how did you do that? Like, what did you sculpt out of? Like, is that carved paper? Is it styrofoam? Like, what? Yeah, what is it? And is the book even usable? Nobody out there goes about replicating them. Yeah, like it can be. Oop, I am talking enough that this does not line up properly. Okay. One sec here. Let me try this again. Better. Okay. Yeah, the kinds of fantasy books you'll see in like movies or TV shows. Yeah, they look really cool, but I can only imagine how much it would cost to try and make one that would hold up to being held in person and looked at. Because like on a screen and in your hands are two separate things. Right? Yeah, like it's cool to chat with somebody who has experience and yeah, knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. Like I do enjoy talking with folks who are totally new as well, but they're much more common. I don't run across other binders very much. Okay. Yeah, like movie magic is its own separate thing. I have an uncle who used to work in miniatures, like for movies. Like he built or he helped to build the submarines for The Hunt for Red October, for example. And a couple times I got to go in and like see the stuff he was working on, which was really cool. And man, it looks so different physically versus like, yeah, when you see it on the screen. It's very different. This tape, it's got some gunk on it. Better, yes. I like reusing tape, but not when it's, maybe going to transfer something onto the book. Yeah, plastics. Yeah, it's rough. I've used wood for book covers a couple times. I haven't done a whole lot of woodworking on the books beyond like drilling holes and like cutting channels for the cords. But yeah, art resin. I love how it looks. I worry about how it would last. Like I had this, I don't know what to call it, concept arrive to me. I do a fair amount of vending at a place called Market of the Beast, which is very goth, like people selling bones and stuff. I'm like, it would be so cool to use resin to make a cabochon that had like tiny bones set into it, like mouse bones, rat bones, I'm like, that would look so cool. That would be amazing. And then I looked into how hard it is to actually make it look good. And I'm like, this is like a whole other hobby. This is me picking up like a totally new thing. I'm like, I gotta like see if I can find somebody who does it and get them to do it, Yeah, leather's very touchy. I have to make sure I take my rings off. It's like once the leather is wet, freaking anything will mark it. Ugh. Very stressful. Reconstituted bone. Yeah, like if something isn't quite right and it comes out all wrong, just, no good. So most of the time I just use my standard book board and book cloth, nice papers, reliable. But yeah, that vending event is really cool. If you're in the US, it would be worth checking out their website because they do them in multiple cities. I'm in Portland, so I usually vend at the Portland one. But they do it in like somewhere back east, Massachusetts maybe, a couple different places. Oh, you are not straight at all. Okay. I'm glad I checked. Oh, interesting. Keeping the dust. Interesting. Oh, yeah, definitely. If you are outside the US, do not come to the US. Not for a while. That's a whole thing. Yeah, I don't know. There must be events like that in Canada. I just don't know about them because that's not where I am. Yeah, I really enjoy vending. I started doing these live streams back in 2020 because with the lockdowns and everything, I couldn't vend. And I started to really miss talking about books with people. So I started doing live streams, and like, people aren't always chatty. I've had streams where I could tell that several people are watching, YouTube says, but they're not saying anything. So I always appreciate the folks who come and chat with me. Stone dust. Interesting. Yeah. I imagine you got to be careful not to inhale it. I know Teflon, which I have a couple of bone folders, but they're made out of Teflon. Real nice. They're so slippery. Nothing sticks. No friction. And sometimes that's exactly what you need. But to shape them, you have to do it underwater. Teflon dust is like super bad for you. Yeah, the bookbinding teacher I got that folder from had shaped the ends into these really nice thin, it's just like a thin shape for separating things. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No vehicle. That makes it really hard. Yeah. Huh. Real bone folders are getting hard to find. Interesting. Like that. That surprises me a little. Crazy. I mean, I have mine, so I haven't had to go looking. But yeah, I've got, let's see. This is a bone folder that's been oiled. Well, it's not really a folder. Yeah, the Teflon one like goes out to be really thin for sliding between layers, doing book repair where you need to split something. It's really handy for that. What else have I got? I have a giant bone folder, hardly used it. This is a bone folder my bookbinding mentor made that I really like. I like hand shaped it. And yeah. Oh, I've got this bone folder. This is another one. I have it, but I haven't really used it. I just thought the shape was interesting. It's like, I should experiment with that. That has potential. Huh, most are plastic now. That's disappointing. I mean, it's cheaper, right? Okay. Yeah, I've seen horn folders, like made out of antlers. Yeah, the ones I was looking at and wishing to buy, but they were expensive. They were like decoratively carved as well. They were really pretty. Yeah, I want to say that was at the Guild of Bookworkers Standards Convention. Oh, that was a while back. My local chapter was chosen as the location for the conference that year, so I got to help out and attend for free, save a little money. That was really fun. Yeah, really fine grit sandpaper can be really helpful. Oh, dang, it's after 11 already. No, that's okay. I don't have anything else going on today, really. Just like laundry and stuff, you know? It's nice to have a binder to chat with. Ah, yeah, like I don't think there was any dye on them. They were blackish. I wish I could remember what animal horn or antler it was. It's been long enough, I'm not sure. But yeah, they're beautiful. I didn't get them, but I looked at them. I admired them. Come off. Come on. Work with me. There we go. Okay. Let's get the front. Mulberry. Yeah. Yeah, working with lightweight end papers can be a little stressful. I've been doing it long enough that I don't get as freaked out about it as I used to. I still have to be careful, but and yeah, like so far, no complaints. Like I've made books for myself with them, and they've lasted pretty well. But like, yeah, the end papers I use the most often are very light. But like the way that I'm building the book, they don't have to be strong because they're not what holds the cover, you know, to the text block so much. The tapes and the mold take care of that. You know, end papers are decorative, you know. Ooh, split board and springback. I have done a springback binding. I did that. I took a class where we made them. So cool. Mine didn't turn out very well. Like I need to do a few to practice, but it was very satisfying getting the like punk when it opened, you know. And the board. Don't think I'm going to case anybody else in today. Handled. I got this huge book press a few months back. It's been really fun getting used to working with it. Yeah. Signatures. Yeah, like shouldn't show the backing. I mean, that would be my attitude. That's certainly my attitude. Let's see. I got do. Show you. I try to get them really tight. Like it'll, once you put the whole book together and you like open it gently and everything, it will open nice and wide. But yeah, like I don't want the signatures to be far enough apart that you can see it. Oh man, yeah, once a book gets thick enough, that can be a real challenge. I think the thickest book I've ever made was 800 pages. It was like this big. And I did it with a mostly flat spine. Like I didn't know any better. This was back in the day. And it was for somebody, and I never heard about how it held up. I wonder about that a little bit. Yeah, finding a strong enough mull, that would be challenging. I guess you could, instead of mull, you could use like a linen or a cotton fabric. That might work. Because mull has that stiffness to it. I wonder if it would break, whereas like a flexible fabric might be doable. Yeah. 3.5 inches, good God. Like that. Holy cow. I'm impressed. Yeah, thin cotton and leather instead of sewing supports. That makes sense. Yeah, I almost always sew on Rainy Band, which I quite like. It's becoming hard to find. I mostly, like the places I usually buy it from are almost always sold out. So when I do find it, I have to stock up. Like so far, it's held up really well. I haven't had problems. But I also am not making books that big. Oh, interesting. Warped. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, like stuff gets weird when you get out to like things that are like books that are really, really thick or books that are really, really thin. Like they don't behave the same way as they do, like as normal, sort of more average sized books do. Yeah, let me think. I've got, here it is. One of the few leather bindings I've done. Let's see, how wide are you? Like 1.75 inches. So yeah, not very much. Like I didn't do the carving in on the board very well, so you can see where it's laced in. But yeah, my end papers came out all weird because I'm not used to working in this size. But it was a practice book for me, and not like for a client or anything. Oh, thank you. Really? Well, that makes sense. I know for some folks it's cool to see the structure of the book. Yeah, considering I think this was my second ever leather-bound book, I was very pleased. But yeah, I got hired to bind like a correspondence course for a person that was this size. Like that's why it's the size it is. So I had this as a practice book. So I would like do a stage on the practice book and then do the stage on the book for the client, back and forth, so that I would make the mistakes on the practice book and be less likely to make them on the client book. And that was successful, which was really cool. Like I warned the client that I don't really do a lot of leather and that it might come out weird. And she was like, I don't care, that's fine. But yeah, one of my cats, it was in a stack with some other stuff, and one of my cats climbed on it or something. Left scratches. Little monsters. But I like this leather though. The client picked it. Ooh, tight back. But yeah, a hollow spine lets it breathe more. Like, yeah, it lets it, gives it more flexibility and strength. Yeah. Yeah, I sometimes do repair on those huge family Bibles, and I make the biggest hollow. It's like, it'll be like 3 on, 2 off, thick, hard paper, like really strong paper. Because, yeah, like once a book is big enough, when you open it, the stress that goes through the structure is just a lot. Distressing the leather. Yeah, that can look really cool. Okay, well, it is 11:30 and time for me to go have lunch. Um, but thank you for coming. This has been really fun. Um, how did you find me? I'm curious. Modern journals in folio size. That would be amazing. But yeah, nobody's making that. It costs too much money. Oh, you found me on Blue Sky. No way. Right on. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm on a handful of social media sites just for my bookbinding, and I don't really post there otherwise. But I'm glad I'm posting if it, yeah, helps you find me. Ah, okay, cool. I'll keep my eye out for you. And yeah, if you're free, most Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific, I'm live streaming. Pretty sure I'll be here next weekend. So yeah, if you're around, definitely come say hi. This has been really cool. Yay! Chatting with a fellow bookbinder. Very exciting. And I'll do my standard sign off where I say, I always post on Blue Sky, Diskit, Mastodon, and Tumblr, like Saturday morning to say what time I'm going to be streaming. And I'm trying to remember on Fridays to set the stream up on YouTube in advance. So if you subscribe to me on YouTube, I'll come up on your subscription tab sometime on Friday, and you'll be able to see what time I'm going to be on. So yeah, have a great rest of your weekend. Hey, this was awesome. And I will see you around. Bye.